Hello, everyone. Today, I want to share with you a very special story. This is not just a video about sex, but rather a deep exploration of loneliness, connection with oneself, and the silent healing journey in the later years of life. What happens when masturbation becomes your closest and only friend in old age? This is the question I want you to reflect on throughout this video. And I promise you, this video will not be just a dry conversation about a behavior that we never want to talk about. Instead, it will be a journey to regain balance in life without shame, without dependence. Masturbation in old age can bring some benefits, but if it goes beyond the limit, it can also lead to negative consequences. Let's go through each part of this video to better understand masturbation in old age, how it affects us, and how to find balance again, naturally and without obsession. As we enter our 60s and beyond, our bodies go through many physiological changes. Hormones begin to change, body tissues age, and of course, sexual desire tends to decrease over time. These changes can make us feel like we're no longer the same, that our bodies gradually become unfamiliar, no longer as sensitive and flexible as when we were young. However, one important thing to recognize is that masturbation at this age is not just a physical act to satisfy pleasure. In fact, for many people at this age, masturbation becomes a way to retain part of their identity, to reconnect with their own bodies, a body that may no longer be perfect but can still bring about feelings. It's not just a sexual act, but also a journey of reaffirming that we can still feel what our bodies can do, even though age has reduced those capabilities. Therefore, masturbation becomes an important part of maintaining a connection with oneself. One story I want to share with you is that of Esther, 72 years old. When I asked her about masturbation, she answered me in a very simple yet profound way. I masturbate not because I need sex, but because I want to feel that my body can still love. Her words truly touched my heart, as they not only spoke of a physical need but also reflected a deeper psychological need, the need to feel alive, to still be capable of love, even though the body has aged. Perhaps Esther's story is not too unfamiliar to many of you watching this video. If you are also at this age, you may be trying to reconnect with your body after the inevitable changes that life brings. Sometimes, masturbation can be the only way for you to feel that you still have the ability to love and be loved. This is not a sign of weakness or lack, but rather a way to maintain vitality, to stay connected with oneself, to affirm once again that, although the body changes, you are still a person full of emotions and capable of love. These behaviors, although they may cause embarrassment or awkwardness for some, we must understand that this is a way in which our body and mind heal themselves and maintain balance. The feeling of love, whether from oneself or others, is always a basic and very important need in each person's life. In fact, masturbation in old age not only brings immediate comfort but also provides a range of physical and psychological benefits. Studies and evidence over the years have shown that masturbation can help older adults maintain physical health and improve mood significantly. First, we need to talk about the physical benefits that masturbation can bring, especially in improving blood circulation. In older adults, blood circulation can decrease due to many factors such as aging or chronic diseases. This can lead to tissue atrophy and problems with sexual health. However, masturbation can help stimulate blood circulation, especially in the genital area, thereby improving blood flow and preventing these issues. Improving blood circulation not only helps maintain sexual ability, but also contributes to keeping the body healthy, as blood provides oxygen and nutrients to tissues and organs. For example, Mrs. Linda, 68 years old, living in California, shared that after feeling her body was no longer as flexible as before, she started masturbating regularly. She noticed that her body gradually felt healthier, and the pain caused by poor circulation also decreased. She said, "I didn't think that such a simple act could make me feel healthier, but it really helped me feel that I still have vitality." This is a typical example of how masturbation helps maintain physical health, especially when age has made everything more difficult. In addition, masturbation also provides great benefits in improving sleep, something that many older adults face. Chronic insomnia is a very common problem among older adults, and there are many reasons that cause sleep disruption, ranging from anxiety and stress to health issues. However, masturbation can help release the accumulated stress and anxiety of the day, creating conditions for the body to relax and easily fall into sleep. This is crucial as quality sleep helps the body recover and renew, directly affecting mental and physical health during the later years of life. For example, Mr. Robert, 72 years old, living in New York, had been dealing with insomnia for many years. After he started masturbating regularly, he found it easier to sleep, and his sleep became deeper and more restorative. He shared, "Before, I used to wake up in the middle of the night and couldn't fall back asleep. But now, after relaxing with myself, I feel like I sleep better and wake up feeling more comfortable." Psychologically, masturbation also helps release endorphins, the hormones that help reduce anxiety and depression. This is especially important for older adults, as we often face many changes in life, such as the loss of loved ones, reduced mobility, and concerns about health. Masturbation helps create an immediate feeling of comfort, while also stimulating the production of endorphins, which improves mood and gives a sense of control over the body. Research from Mayo Clinic 2022 has shown that regular self-stimulation can reduce the risk of mild depression in older adults by 32%, while also increasing average sleep quality by 37 minutes per night. This is an impressive figure, as it not only shows that masturbation helps reduce anxiety but also improves the overall quality of life in terms of mental and emotional well-being. A real example is Mrs. Susan, 75 years old, living in Texas. After her husband passed away, she felt very lonely and often became depressed. However, she started masturbating to relax and improve her mood, and she noticed a significant change. "I didn't think this act could make me feel happier, but it really helped reduce my loneliness and made me feel better every day," she shared. All these benefits can only be achieved when masturbation is done in moderation. Maintaining balance is very important. Otherwise, masturbation can lead to negative consequences, as mentioned in previous sections. However, when done properly, masturbation can be an effective tool for maintaining physical and mental health in older adults, while also improving the overall quality of life. However, like any other behavior, it is important to maintain moderation. Although masturbation can bring many physical and psychological benefits, if it is not controlled, it can lead to unwanted consequences. Using masturbation as the only means to address psychological issues, such as stress, anxiety, or loneliness, can create an unhealthy cycle where you become dependent on this behavior to feel relaxed or happy. A real example is Mr. Peter, 70 years old, living in California. He started masturbating frequently to relieve the feeling of loneliness after his wife passed away. At first, this act brought relaxation and helped him feel better. However, after a while, he realized that he began to feel emptier after each masturbation session, and he started to feel tired and lacking in energy. This led him to lose interest in social activities that he used to enjoy, such as joining a book club or going for walks with friends. His dependence on this behavior made him feel more isolated and unmotivated, decreasing his quality of life. This is why it is important to maintain balance in all behaviors, including masturbation. Some people may use masturbation as a tool to relieve stress, but if it is relied upon exclusively without seeking other methods to improve psychological and physical health, we may encounter serious consequences. Alternative methods such as exercise, meditation, engaging in social activities, or simply creating emotional connections with friends and family can help improve mood and strengthen overall health in a more sustainable way. For example, Mrs. Linda, 68 years old, from Florida, previously felt stressed due to family issues. However, instead of relying solely on masturbation to relieve stress, she started attending yoga and meditation classes. She shared that the yoga sessions helped her relax, improve her body's flexibility, and, most importantly, made her feel calmer and more balanced. She also joined community activities such as a support group for older adults, where she could share life issues, helping reduce her feelings of loneliness. After a while, she noticed that she could control her emotions better without depending on masturbation. When masturbation becomes an excessive habit, one clear consequence is a gradual decrease in pleasure. Initially, masturbation may bring satisfaction and help reduce stress. However, if done too often, you will gradually feel that the pleasure is no longer as intense as before. To achieve pleasure, you will need stronger stimuli, leading to an endless loop of disappointment. This is the natural physiological mechanism of the body. When we repeat a behavior without change or adjustment, the initial effect diminishes. This can create a sense of dissatisfaction and make you seek stronger stimuli to feel good. For example, Mr. John, 75 years old, from Texas, shared that he had masturbated frequently for many years. However, after a while, he noticed that he no longer felt satisfied as he did before. He had to try new methods, such as imagination or seeking stronger stimuli, but this only made him feel tired and disappointed. Eventually, he realized that instead of continuing to pursue this behavior, he needed to find other ways to take care of his physical and mental health, such as participating in sports activities or meeting friends. When masturbation becomes an excessive habit, a very common side effect is the feeling of fatigue and lack of energy. This feeling not only affects physical health but also reduces interest in other activities in life. When the body and mind no longer feel energized, you may begin to feel a lack of motivation in work, socializing, and even in personal relationships. This easily leads to a psychological state of low motivation and sluggishness, making you no longer care about relationships or activities that once brought joy. Therefore, just like with any healthy habit, masturbation needs to be done in moderation to ensure that it does not become a harmful factor for overall health. Instead, it should be combined with other healthy habits to keep your body and mind in the best condition. An important issue to note is that if masturbation becomes the only way to address feelings of loneliness, it can actually make your loneliness worse. During emotional hardships, such as losing a loved one, going through a divorce, or facing significant life changes, many people turn to masturbation as a way to relieve stress and feelings of emotional deprivation. However, if masturbation becomes the only habit to fill the emotional void, you may easily feel emptier after each session, instead of truly feeling satisfied. The reason is that masturbation, while it can temporarily relieve stress, cannot replace real connection with others. The satisfaction from masturbation only provides an immediate feeling of relaxation, but it does not help build or maintain long-term emotional relationships, which the body and mind truly need to feel happy and fulfilled in the long run. Without connection with others, you may fall into a loop where masturbation becomes the only means of feeling at ease, but it makes you feel even lonelier after each session. A real example is Mr. Frank, 68 years old, living in Ohio. After his wife passed away, he started using masturbation as a way to relieve loneliness. Although it helped him feel temporarily relaxed, he noticed that after each session, his sense of loneliness grew more intense. He shared, "At first, I felt better, but then I realized I was just running away from the feeling of emotional deprivation. I can't replace the feeling of love and connection with another person with this act." He turned to therapy to work through his feelings of loneliness and began participating in community groups, which led to noticeable improvements in his life. One important warning to note is that in older adults, excessive ejaculation can lead to fatigue and a lack of motivation to participate in social activities. As we age, our bodies gradually lose physiological health and energy, and abusing masturbation can lead to a decline in overall health, resulting in negative psychological and social effects. This can cause an increase in isolation, as you feel you no longer have the energy to engage in social activities or interact with friends and family. According to Dr. Jennifer Berman, a urologist and sexologist in Los Angeles, although masturbation is a natural behavior and can be an important part of a person's sexual life, when masturbation becomes the only way to deal with loneliness or stress, it can lead to mild depression, fatigue, and feelings of isolation. If left unchecked, this behavior can reduce involvement in relationships and social activities, affecting overall quality of life. Therefore, while masturbation can bring certain physical and psychological benefits, it is crucial to maintain moderation to avoid dependency. If you notice that this behavior is beginning to negatively affect your physical or mental health, it's a sign that you need to reconsider and find balance in your life. Experts encourage you to seek other methods to improve your psychological and physical health, such as participating in social activities, meditation, exercising, or seeking support from a mental health professional when needed. Dr. Laura Berman, a sexologist, also points out masturbation should not become the only means of addressing psychological issues, as it can lead to dependency and reduce the ability to experience real joy and connection from relationships in life. Engaging in other meaningful activities, such as meeting friends, joining clubs, or participating in support groups, can help you rebuild relationships and create real emotional connections. Therefore, always seek to maintain balance in your life and listen to your body. If masturbation is a part of your sexual life, ensure that it is just one element of a healthy lifestyle and does not replace real emotional and social connections. Finally, remember that masturbation is not wrong. There is nothing shameful about taking care of your body's needs. However, if it becomes the only way for you to feel alive, that is when you need to reconsider. Balance is key. If you feel that masturbation is no longer a positive behavior but just an escape, try seeking other activities such as walking, reading, or joining senior groups to share feelings and experiences. Connecting with your body is very important, but do not let any behavior become an addiction. Let your life be fuller and richer, with meaningful and profound experiences. Old age is not the end of desire, but a new chapter in life. Start this new chapter with kindness and self-love. I hope this video has helped you understand the relationship between masturbation and old age and helped you find balance in your life. Always remember, we deserve to be loved and cared for, not only by others, but by ourselves.